anyone who knows me knows that I love stars. Okay, I just love and adore stars. And I mean, I try telescopes, but that's too focused for stars, right? I've tried binoculars, but I can never focus both of the lens at the same time, and I usually like looking at them with one eye. I'd love to invent a screen or a plastic screen in front of my face. It's like my distance vision for my glasses, but with no parameters, right? No metal around it, so it's just a clear view of the sky. The thing is, I have this fear that in my lifetime, because of smog or climate change or my failing vision, that I'm not going to be able to see all these brilliant stars. And that makes me really sad. So whenever we plan a trip, whether it's camping or wherever we go, I'm always looking for a dark place so I can look at the stars, or a designated dark zone where there's no cities or towns with bright lights around and we can really, really see the stars. You know, when I look at the stars, I typically get a crick in my neck from looking at the sky all the time, but I'm just mesmerized by them. So I wanted to tell you a happy story tonight. We could all use more happy stories, right? But on my morning walk this morning, I saw a couple walking arm in arm, and I decided I needed to tell you their story. So this couple that I met, we kept passing each other for months at a time in the early morning on our walks, going different directions, but we always nod politely to each other, say hello, beautiful day, have a great day, whatever. But then this one morning as we were coming close to each other, and this is a lovely man and woman who'd always walk arm in arm too, but as we're about to come to pass with each other again, simultaneously, the woman and I both said, "Good morning, and what's your name?" I mean, if we're going to keep meeting each other like this, we thought, let's know each other's names. So we took some time to introduce ourselves, and we'll call them John and Greta. Greta had a lovely lilting accent. I think she was German. I'm not sure because we didn't go into that much detail, but she told me she'd been raised in the mountains and always was hiking and had a very vigorous and exciting time climbing in the mountains. And she liked to get her husband John out for these long walks for their exercise and to keep their minds sharp and all of that. She was really very delightful. John was very sweet too, a little quieter and let Greta do most of the talking, but he was a very lovely gentleman too. So we would continue this, right? For months, I would bang into them a couple times a week, and we'd say hello. We'd get to know each other better. They knew my husband's name. I knew about their kids, where we were all traveling. And it was just one of those nice things when you're out for a walk. But then COVID came, right? We all remember COVID, remember? And all of a sudden, we were hiding in our houses, right? We're afraid to go out. We're afraid to go for walks or talk to someone face-to-face on the sidewalk. I mean, I just remember feeling terrified to even say hello to someone across the street. So because of that, we're staying home and we're not in our usual routine, so I didn't see John and Greta for a very, very, very long time. But eventually, right, we all got our shots, we started feeling more comfortable about going out, and we got back into our routines, and finally, after not seeing them it was over a year, we finally saw each other again, and it was just so thrilling to be together with them and just to chat with them again. They seemed well, they had done really well during COVID. But as we were talking and getting caught up, Greta made us kind of a strange and unsubstantiated comment about where she thought coronavirus had originated from. And I was a little taken aback by it, but she went on a little bit more, and then her husband John said, "Oh, never mind that, and we've got to go." And he took her by the arm, and off they went down the street. And I didn't think a whole lot about it. We'd all gone a little stir crazy, right, when we were locked inside for so long. And maybe she was just trying to figure it all out. So time went by, but we didn't see each other that often anymore. My schedule had changed. I got to retire early. Yay COVID. I retired early, and so I started walking late in the day and saw them very infrequently. As a matter of fact, I didn't see Greta for a very long time, but I ran into John at market, as a matter of fact, while he was shopping. And we got caught up again. He always remembers my husband's name and where we vacationed. Just a sweet guy. And so I asked how Greta was doing, and he kind of took a breath, and he said, "Well, she's getting forgetful, and she's a little down, so she mostly stays home." And I told him I was sorry, but please say hello to her for me, and I hope to see them out walking together again. So months went on, and I saw John at market several times, and no Greta. Always asked about her. He'd drive by occasionally while I was walking by himself in the car, and we'd chat a little bit more. And no real update on Greta, just she was never with them, always at home. So this morning, when I was walking, I saw them together, John and Greta, down the road a ways, arm in arm as always, and walking slowly up the road towards their house. And I was just, again, so thrilled to see her out and about. There was Greta after all this time. But I noticed that she kept stopping, and she would turn and look at the house they were passing. And then she would walk again, and then she'd stop just a few steps later, look at it again, and stare at it, and then walk forward a bit. She did that a couple of times, and finally John very gently took her by the arm and led her down the road towards home. When I think of Greta now, I like to think of her up on top of her mountains. I like to think of her athletic and youthful again and feeling wonderful and taking in the beautiful vistas around her of her homeland. Absorbing all that wonderful mountain air too and feeling well. And when I think of Greta like that, it makes my quest for those dark night skies with the Milky Way all around you even stronger than ever. Thank you.